vid here. Ninja. Quarantine nostalgia, bro. I had 2 quarantines here in Australia, and yeah, we had online school. I barely done anything, you know. I barely done any schoolwork. Actually, I barely done any schoolwork. Okay, 9, got it. See you whenever you're live. Okay, bro. See ya. But what's it called? Quarantine. During quarantine, I didn't do any of the online schoolwork, bro. Well, I didn't even want to do it online because we picked up the papers from the actual school to do it, and I never even done it. And then I was worried that I was like, oh crap, we're going back to school and I haven't done anything. But it turns out most of the school didn't do it. So the teacher was like, principal was like, okay, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna start from scratch. So all the guys who actually showed up and did the Zoom and online schoolwork, bro, and actually done that, you done it like it didn't even matter, bro, because they were like, okay, we're restarting. But yeah, most of the time I was just going to the beach because here there was a rule you could go outside for the exercise, but you need to be within 5 kilometers of your house, and I'm not far from the beach, which is good. And probably the best skill that I learned during quarantine, I learned how to juggle. I don't got 3 balls here, so I can't show you, but I learned how to juggle, bro. But yeah, let's see this quarantine nostalgia.
Remember the height of quarantine when all we did was rot in our bedrooms trying to figure out which TikTok bedroom we'd all sleep in? Those were some good times. And if you think about it realistically, those months were probably miserable for most of us. My time in quarantine had me getting legitimately fat, but I speak for the majority when I say we'd all take that any day over being a member of society. I don't know if the cause of lockdown was the government plotting from the shadows, a viral leak from some scientific laboratory, or if it really was a Chinese dude eating a bat at the market like some dudes were saying. And I'm obviously not the most qualified person to speak on this because I'm a YouTuber. But man, what I can say is at this point, I'd be willing to sacrifice myself and personally fly all the way to China and eat a few bats of my own if that's what it really takes to bring back the good days.
That's a bit extra, bro. Like, all it was is just doing nothing pretty much. Like, you can go outside and that, like if you got a yard, but that's pretty much it. I think I would just spend my time if it wasn't inside, obviously, just in the backyard or going to the beach or whatever. But yeah, I think I just spend lots of it just on YouTube and playing games.
So let's go back 1 week prior to the COVID lockdown on that last day of school before spring break 2020. Lil Uzi had finally dropped Eternal Take and everyone was listening with their AirPods in class, waiting for that sweet week off of school. During those days, there was some talk of the coronavirus, but nobody really took it too seriously at this point. We didn't think it was going to spread over to the United States, and as students, we didn't really care. The only thing that we wanted to do was not go to school. So once school actually did get off, there wasn't a second of downtime before the gang all hopped on Fortnite with an entire week ahead of us to grind for the golden Ronaldo skin, blissfully ignorant of what was to come. Now, personally, I had actually gotten myself into quite the peculiar situation during week 1 of spring break, because on the first day before any kind of lockdown was announced, I got on a bus and left. So when the lockdown was officially announced, I had to stay at the homie Tony's house for a whole week until I could catch a bus home.
Yeah, I just saw the toilet paper and it was like, bro, everyone's panicking for toilet paper. Not canned food. Not 2-minute noodles, not cup noodles, toilet paper, bro. But like, if you have some common sense, bro. You're not buying food. You're not stocking up on canned food or ramen noodles, stuff like that. You're stocking up on toilet paper. But what's the point of having all that toilet paper if there's nothing to poop out, bro, because you don't got food? Like, come on now. They're just stocking up on toilet paper. Like, there's way more important stuff than that, bro.
Home. And that officially began the first week of lockdown. At this point, it wasn't really thought of as lockdown, though. It was seen more like spring break 2. And once people got news of the spring break extension, they went even deeper into the degenerate activity they were on. Dudes went from playing Fortnite all day to living in salty springs, from scrolling TikTok 8 hours at a time to becoming e-girls, from drinking all night to drinking all day. What I'm saying is that 2 weeks off from all responsibilities hit different and gave people way too much free time. This was also the time when social distancing first started to be enforced. But in the case of being bunkered down with Tony, social distancing wasn't really a possibility for us. We just played PS4 and drank smoothies all day, and it was probably the peak of my life. While the world was just starting to burn, me and Tony had an unlimited strawberry supply at his house for the infinite smoothie glitch. But that lifestyle would come to an end quickly. After the week passed, I had to say goodbye to my paradise with the homie Tony. It was time to get on home and have my first day of the lockdown lifestyle. By the time week 3 of lockdown rolled around was when people started to realize that this because public school had officially gone virtual at this point, and ain't nobody about to do all that. I was dodging these virtual assignments as if they didn't have real world consequences. I was just too deep in the
Hey, pretty much everyone didn't do their assignments, bro. But the thing is, like, what are they gonna do? They're not gonna rock up at your house and force you to do it. But yeah, as I said before, luckily they didn't care, and we just all started from scratch. So the bots who did do all that work, it doesn't matter, bro.
Night grind, I had to get the Ronaldo skin. It wasn't just me though. I don't know a single person who didn't just drop school altogether after attempting their first online assignment. But what really sealed the deal on dropping school was when I shaved my entire head bald.
Put a work out there today, yo. Talking about shooting camp, we gonna get you right. Teach you how to really shoot the basketball the right way.
Get out of here, bro.
Because there's no way I was about to show up in a Zoom call with my monkey-looking head ass. So I just opted out of school to avoid the humiliation. This may just be my collective friend group I speak for here, but every guy I knew shaved their heads bald at this point. 3 weeks locked in the bedroom had us on the...
I'm not sure how my hair was looking, but I don't think I shaved it. And one of the most annoying things I heard, I think it was LeBron. Like, when the NBA went in lockdown, bro, they all stayed at the, like, Disney resort, bro, Disney World. And he was talking about how hard it is being away from his family. And then some other player was like, bro, you're at a 5-star resort. What are you complaining about?
Same mental stability as the Joker. We were all going insane. We saw this as our life's only chance to be bald without social repercussions. But crossing that 2-month line is when we all truly started to deteriorate as humans. There's no easy way for me to say this next part, but the lack of physical activity had me gaining some weight. And coupled with my new hairstyle, I was unfortunately fat and bald at 18 years old. My sleep schedule was just as bad as my haircut too. I was going to bed at sunrise and waking up at 3 p.m. like Batman. The amount of nights I'd try and pull an all-nighter in an attempt...
But I didn't get fat during lockdown, bro, because I was doing stuff in the backyard. But yeah, lots of people, especially if you like live in a city, bro, you don't got backyards. You're kind of scuffed. You can't run around. You can just like need push-ups or whatever.
To save my circadian rhythms, only for it to completely backfire and make it worse is beyond me. And just as my sleep schedule couldn't withstand 2 months of lockdown, my grades could not withstand 2 months of missed assignments. My report card was failing all across the board. But about this time was when the most historic moment of the lockdown happened. The school board started stressing that this year's grade point average was gonna be a 0.2 and had no choice but to pull the plug. So they officially announced that every assignment beyond lockdown didn't count towards final grades. I remember just how joyous...
Bro, this is exactly the same as us. We all came back. I was worried. I asked some of my friends, what did you do? Yeah, I did nothing as well. And the exact same thing, bro. No one, barely anyone did it. So, They just said, okay, we're starting from scratch.
This news was to me. And considering how everything else in life was falling apart, it hit different to hear some good news for a change. I guess you could partially thank me for not doing my assignments and saving all of America's GPAs collectively. So when the school year eventually ended around month 3, summer break made absolutely no difference on our lives. This is when the weeks really started to blend together and things got bad.
This is different from us in Australia because we don't have summer break. Because we got 4 terms. Between each term, there's 2 weeks. And then after term 4 is like Christmas holidays. And that's the longest one. But besides that, we got 2 weeks in between terms. Unlike America, you just keep like going, and then you get one big break.
That social isolation was really starting to get to me at this point. Spending every waking moment grinding my life away for Golden Peely was bad for my mental. It got to the point where I now have no memory of even my family during quarantine. I have no clue what the people in my own home were getting up to. The only change I made in my day-to-day was eventually switching from Fortnite to this game called Fishing Planet. And that was definitely a downgrade that reflected my mental state. At this point, I felt like I was really starting to fail as a human being. I don't know if anyone else would do this, but after staying indoors all day, I needed to get outside. So every few nights around midnight, I would just walk around dark and empty neighborhoods by myself. Those late night walks all alone through empty neighborhoods in an attempt to get outside started to hit deep. So I decided to get myself a job for the summer. So after doing a bit of searching, I eventually found a car wash.
This dude's in a different position from when I was, because he was 18 when this happened, and I'm not even 18 yet. So yeah, I was just chill back then. But the night walks, bro, walking around at the night when it's early in the morning, bro, it's so good. No cars on the road, you can legit walk in the middle of the road, peaceful. There's no one out. But yeah, night walks are so good. Because I was walking home like 3 a.m. from a party a couple of days ago, bro. It was so good just walking home, listening to music. It's top tier.
That would take me. I worked there for a solid week or 2 before I just stopped showing up. I didn't last very long re-entering the real world. My time indoors had my mental discipline deteriorated. Coupled with the fact that I was still fat, I was working outdoors in the Arizona summer sun, and the whole time I had to wear a mask, it just wasn't something I could do. The only thing that got me...
Bro, the masks, they were too annoying and legit. Bro. And this isn't quarantine. This is when we come back and we had to wear masks in school, bro. We're legit sitting right next to each other. At lunch and recess, we got the mask off, eating right next to each other. Like, what's the point? Like, bro, seriously. I mean, that can help if you guys are out in public and everyone's away from each other. But if you're in school, you're shoulder to shoulder. That's not going to do crap. Especially if you're shoulder to shoulder with someone that has COVID for the entire day. That mask ain't doing nothing, bro. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of me when we had the masks back then. Let's see. So this is what I done, bro. This is what I done to help me, because it's hard to breathe. It's just annoying. It's hard to breathe, and your breath gets trapped, and then it gets moist, and it's yuck, bro. It's yuck. This is what I done, bro. I'm too smart. So I just cut a hole in the mask so I could breathe properly with the mask still on, you know? So that helped a lot. But bro, the teacher got angry at me. I don't know why. I just did this so I could breathe properly. This is 2021. But yeah, I don't know why the teachers were tripping over that. Let's get back to the vid.
Through those shifts was watching Avatar on my lunch breaks because Netflix had just added the show. But Ninye, you only didn't enjoy quarantine because you spent your time poorly. That is true. Most of us spent quarantine rotting and probably didn't do We could have been out hustling. If I went back, I probably would have like read a book or two. Get my intelligence up, you know? Maybe I wouldn't be so stupid if I did that. If there was a tier list for things to do in quarantine, gaming all night would probably be a C. Sleeping all day would probably be D tier because that never feels good. Eating terribly like I did would be an F because being unhealthy like Rick Ross like that is just a terrible feeling. And not exercising would probably also be an F because it's just gonna get me built like Rick Ross even quicker. But it is what it is. And now that I say it all out loud, I don't think I particularly miss the COVID lockdown. The next few months that followed weren't all that different from the last few that already weren't that great. It's like looking back on it, all the pain and misery just despawns from our memories, and all that remains is how we had nothing to do. It's easy to compare any kind of work we have to do now to the whole lot of nothing we had to do then and wish for it to come back, but that life is just not sustainable. And also millions of people died because of COVID, so that's also a downside to consider. Either way, that's the video. Subscribe. Bye.
Bro. And after lockdown, like when we were still wearing masks, bro, like you'd be scared to cough. You'd be scared to cough. Because no one's thinking about the flu or just a cold. Oh, you got COVID, bro. Like, what even is that? You're not even allowed to cough these days. Even when I went out to the shops with my mum, she was like, don't cough, because then they're going to think you have COVID. Like, come on now. What is this? What has the world come to? But we had like 2 lockdowns. 2020 and 2021 lockdowns. But, yeah, they were a good time for me. But it would have been like... It would have been a bit different if I'm 18 and that's happening.